videos and posting them on YouTube, but we'll see what happens. That may change. So the features, as I said, you know, for the 2.5 grand roughly that you pay extra for the MT-09 SP, you know, you only get the extra suspension, the Öhlins. As I said, I'm not experienced enough. I don't know if I would have been able to tell the difference between the stock and the Öhlins. I'm sure the Öhlins would have been nicer, a bit more fleshy because it's got the gold and a coating on the outside of the forks. But you know, I do think, well, you know, it's 2.5 grand of cash in my pocket, or 2.5 grand worth of cash in my pocket to get mods for this one, because we all know that as soon as you get a bike, generally what's the first thing you do is think about what you're going to buy next for it, within mods and bits and pieces. So that was the main reason. I thought, you know, logically, and it's like, well, the suspension wouldn't be able to tell much difference personally. I could be completely wrong, haven't ridden the SP, but so don't take my word as gospel. It's just, this is my opinion. You know, keyless entry, as I said, not a thing for me, so the only real benefit from the step up to the SP was the brakes. So that's why I decided to go for the standard edition and save the extra cash, you know, which is probably a good thing, because I've spent a wee bit, so obviously by the time you buy all your motorcycle gear again. I can't tell if you can tell, I've got the Helite Turtle 2 vest, because I have been down before. I've been knocked off my bike. It wasn't my fault. A car failed to give way, and ended up T-boning the car and going over the top of it down the road, skidding down the road for a bit. So as much as the Turtle 2s are a very expensive bit of kit, I think every little bit helps. You know, we all want to ride at different levels. Some people like you know, track riding, some people like street riding, some people are a bit more heavier on the throttle than me, some people aren't, but at the end of the day, you know, riding motorcycles with all these cars around you, everyone's out to kill you, so to speak. That's why I decided to get the Helite Turtle 2, and obviously I got it in bright yellow. Excuse me, coughing. That's going to be great on the audio. Anyway, yeah, so I got it in the bright green, bright yellow, I should say, or fluorescent yellow. And because I want to be seen, you know, I'd rather look a bit funny going down the road with my bright yellow vest on and not get knocked off my bike. Obviously that would be a bad thing, but if I do, hopefully I am protected, and going through yellow lights is probably not a great thing for safety, but hey, we're motorcyclists, sometimes we do stupid things if the cops aren't around. So here in New Zealand, lane filtering and splitting is not really a thing, although sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't, just given the time of year. I am not going to filter between these cars because it's the silly season and a lot of people aren't paying attention. Obviously waving to the other riders, just a common courtesy of bike life. Unless it's a cruiser, they tend to not wave back. Well, some cruisers do, but a lot of them don't. They don't like us sport riders or touring riders, or it's just a thing. Hopefully that'll change one day, but not yet. So I'm going to bring my visor up for a bit, just to see what the audio is like. Obviously should hopefully be fine in this condition. Obviously we're not moving at the moment, but we will see what it's like in them shortly. I hope everyone's having a good wind down if you're still working. Good wind down to Christmas. Obviously Christmas is a great time of year. Catch up with friends and family. Go on holiday, do whatever you enjoy, whether that's going on holiday, water sports, riding motorcycles, whatever. I hope everyone has a good Christmas, good New Year's, a couple of drinks or lots, depending on your prerogative. I know I'll probably be having a couple myself. I had a couple last night, to be fair, and a couple of whiskies, and they went down rather well. I don't drink a lot, but I recently come back from overseas, so I had some duty free, so I thought, why not have a couple to celebrate the finish of work. It's got to be done. So other things I like about the MT-09 is the exhaust. The factory exhaust is really good. I do like it because I like the fact that that it's under the bike. Okay, the physical exhaust is not a great looker per se. You know, it doesn't scream sexiness, if you want to say that. But I do like the profile, the fact that it's under the bike, it's underslung, and it doesn't stick out the side. And it's relatively quiet, so that can be a good thing. That can be a pro or a con to you. As I said, when you really wind on the throttle on this bike, and obviously I'm not doing it here in the centre of town, but well, the bike is relatively quiet, but you do get the induction noise coming through the speaker vents here. Well, they're not really speakers, but you get my point. Noise comes out of them, and that's where you get a lot of sound coming from the bike and the airbox, and that sound alone is enough to forget about the exhaust. But I know with watching YouTube, there's lots of other people out there that have these bikes and have put various different exhausts on them, and they do sound really good. So the stock exhaust can be a pro, it can be a con, but I do like the look of not having it sticking out the side of the bike. But obviously, as soon as you put an aftermarket exhaust on it, that's going to change. But, you know, just something different. And each to their own, you know, everyone buys a bike for their own reasons. Obviously looks is one in my category that I look at. I've got to like the look of the bike before I even think about it. And the MT series has had a lot of people commenting about the headlights or on these models, the various generations. Obviously sorry, I just realised every time I probably put my visor up, I'm getting my hand in the shot in the frame, so I apologise for that. But anyway, a lot of people have been yay or nay with the different variations of the MT-09 regarding to the headlight or the seats. Obviously the Gen 3 it's a single headlight with the cheek running lights per se, and the banana style seat. I would, and I haven't ridden a Gen 3, but obviously I would imagine that seat would be probably a wee bit more comfortable than the Gen 4. And again, this is just an assumption on looks only. And a complete guess on my part at the moment, so hey, I could be completely wrong, but it just looks a wee bit more comfortable. It looks like there's more foam in that seat, and obviously it comes up a wee bit higher just before the tank, so all you males out there know what I mean with that. Obviously you should be using your legs to lock into your tank, but or your tank grips if you're running them. But it's always nice to have a wee bit of padding by your tank, just in case you slip. And obviously that affects the females as well, but probably not as much. Don't give me grief about that. But anyway. So would I recommend the MT-09? Hey, I recommend wheels motorbikes to anyone. Doesn't matter. I'd rather see them on a bike that they don't like, just to be on two wheels. But yes, I highly recommend the MT-09. And you know, the engine performance on the CP3 is fantastic. The sound notes from this bike are fantastic. Well, that was a loud bloody train, but anyway. As I said, the sound notes from this bike are fantastic. Again, I can't comment because I don't have an aftermarket exhaust, but I would imagine from what I've seen on, I can't comment because mine doesn't have one, but there are several exhausts out there that get the pops and googles, and if you like that, which, you know, is either you do or you don't, but most riders would probably like that. That would be a good thing. The engine does have obviously the stock tune on this one, because I'm not paying to get it tuned unless I put an exhaust on it, but maybe down the line, I don't know. I still haven't made my mind up whether I'm going to spend the money on an exhaust. But from stock, I highly recommend the MT-09. It's comfortable, has all the mod cons you want, and whether you get the SP or not, or the stock one, it doesn't matter. Obviously it's completely up to you and your budget. Again, this quick shifter fantastic. Up and down quick shifter. Haven't had any issues with it. It just works. It makes me a bit lazy. Obviously, you only use the clutch when you're coming down to a stop. Obviously, you can change down, and it auto blips and changes instantly, just like that. So that is another pro with this MT-09. I believe the Gen 3 only has an up quick shifter. I think you have to use the clutch when you're coming down the gears on a Gen 3. But as the Gen 4, it's relatively smooth up and down the gears. I've only had one instance where it didn't want to shift, and that's when I believe it was third gear, quite high in the revs. I was on a straight bit of road, not in the city, out in the country, and it didn't want to change, so it clutched in, did a normal shift with the clutch, and it changed after that. And hello. Sorry, someone ringing me, and obviously trying to look at this road sign up ahead. Fair road closed. Okay. 13th of Jan, so it's a bit early yet. Not going to need to worry about that too much. So obviously today I'm just out for a ride. No real plan other than obviously testing my setup, as I said at the start. Testing the microphone, the camera, and just out for a ride on a beautiful day. So as I said, mods I've done to this bike, two from factory before I even picked it up, were the tank grips. A bit hard to show you, but the grips on the side of the petrol tank, and the radiator guard, because obviously most nakeds, the radiator is susceptible to damage, and spending $100 or whatever on a radiator guard, to me it's just a no-brainer. You know, spend the money. Hey, see if this guy waves. See, Cruiser guy didn't wave. What a surprise. Anyway, yeah, spending the extra money to get something to protect your radio on a naked bike is a must. You know, most radio guards are pretty cheap. There are some expensive ones. And in all fairness, I think this one that I got, because it's a Yamaha accessory, was probably $200, I believe, but you can get cheaper ones, eBay, Amazon. But at the end of the day, you also get what you pay for. So the quality of the Yamaha one should be good. I've always been a fan of Yamaha products, but sometimes I will buy Yamaha products, and sometimes I don't. Obviously they've got the windscreen. This is not a Yamaha product, believe it or not. I got it later on. I do have this little short one, I don't know how to describe it, but the shorter visor. It's probably about a foot long, left to right, and probably literally just comes up just below the dash, so it comes up to about here. sporty little windscreen. That looks really good on the MT09, but I also bought this one off eBay, I believe, and for $40 instead of the Yamaha's one that's probably nearly 200 New Zealand dollars. So I'm happy to spend 40 New Zealand dollars and try this one. Again, as a naked bike, you've got to expect the winds, but I think it cuts down the wind's noise, but still hits you in the helmet and the chest, depending on how upright you're sitting. Obviously you can tuck in, and that little windscreen might do a bit more, but at the end of the day I'm not too worried. But as I said, Bahrain mirrors were a must for me. I've never been a big fan of stock mirrors. They look like antlers. Probably a good thing during Christmas time, but you know, do the stock mirrors work? Yeah, sure, they're fine. They were good enough for the visibility on the bike, but I've always preferred Bahrain mirrors, because there's nothing worse than looking in the mirror and all you see is your shoulder and or your arm, and you have to like tuck it out of the way to see what's behind you. Bahrain mirrors gives you that bit more wideness, obviously, because the MT09 does come with a pretty wide bar on it, which to me is a good thing. Gives you more leverage and performance of this bike. Sometimes you need it. So the Bahrain mirrors I've got, I forget the name of them, but they are from Kelpie in Australia. I think they were relatively cheap, probably around the 150, 170 New Zealand dollars that shipped to my door. I forget what they were in Australian, but they would have been around that 140-ish mark Australian, I'm guessing, just given the current exchange rate. But yeah, highly recommend them. Reading the Kelpie products so far. I am thinking about getting the comfort seat per se with Kelpie. They don't actually sell you the seat, they sell you the fabric that goes over top that has memory foam in it. So you do have to do a bit of work for that. Oh, let's go. Love the power of this bike, and I don't know if you caught it firing through the gears and the quick shifter, the noise coming from the grates. Oh, it's just great. It really puts a smile on your dial. But yeah. So yeah, Kelpie wing mirror, Bahrain mirrors. These ones fantastic. If you want to know what they are, send me a comment, and I can put the link in the description if I post this on YouTube. Obviously I'm still undecided because testing, but yeah, the Bahrain mirrors are really good. They do get vibey at a certain RPM. I forget what that is, whether I think it's 4,000 RPM ish. But obviously, as soon as you punch through 4,000 RPM, they work fine. It's obviously just that frequency. And I generally a lot of the time still do the odd over-the-shoulder head check anyway, so it's not a major. Alright, let's get in front of this guy. It's obviously in 5th gear, not quite top gear, but as soon as you roll on the throttle, even in 6th gear, this bike just pulls. Put it in 6th gear here, so top gear, 95 k's, soon as put it on the throttle and we're going. It pulls. This fantastic bike. I'm so glad I got the MT-09. Other naked bikes I was looking at was probably the Triumph Street Triple 765, the RS model. Was one I was looking at. But here in New Zealand, that particular bike was $22,000. I think 22 and a half maybe. In Bumblebee yellow. Not that it looked like a Bumblebee, it actually reminded me of a yellow Hornet. But given the fact that we don't have Hornets here in New Zealand, we should probably call it a yellow Bumblebee. But yeah, the look of that bike was a very nice bike, very, very tidy. Again, cruisers, not waving. What a surprise. But yeah, I did look at that bike. I asked a few things. I've asked a few people that owned Triumphs and their opinions on them. Again, triple engine. The Triumph sounded really good. Again, hadn't taken it for a ride, but wanted to ask all the questions before I decided on whether I was going to seriously look at the Triumph. And again, beautiful looking bike. If you buy a Triumph Street Triple 765 RS, I don't think you'll be disappointed. But compared to the Yamaha MT-09, it's roughly the same price as the SP model. So if you can compare it to the SP, the SP model has more features than the RS from the Triumph. So I think it's more beneficial to get the Yamaha. And you could say I'm probably a Yamaha fanboy. Yes, I've probably, out of the 7 bikes I've had, at least 4 of them have been Yamahas. So you could say that. But you get what you get, and Yamaha have never let me down. The other bikes I've ridden, Honda, Suzuki, any Japanese bikes are relatively good. I have ridden a Kawasaki as well, but actually owned a Kawasaki Ninja. But I've only ridden a Suzuki GN250, so that tells you how old I am, which they still sell. More of a cruiser style bike, but yeah, I have ridden one that was my friend's at the time. He rode my bike, I rode his for 10 minutes just to swap and get a different perspective on someone else's bike. I think at the time I did have a Yamaha 250 something, I can't quite remember the model, but it was a fairly it was my first motorbike, being a Yamaha single cylinder naked bike, 2-stroke, and that was the one that I got knocked off. So yeah, hopefully never happens again, but riding is unpredictable, so that's a possibility. So we're here in Littleton, obviously. I don't know if anyone's listening, you obviously notice. It's one of the main shipping ports in Christchurch. Very busy with logging exports, coal, and a lot of other ships. A lot of Russian ships come here, actually, to be fair. Russian fishermen. So take on that what you will. do not want to stop on a hill like this. And coming up the middle. So as I said, I don't normally filter, but in certain cases I will, because I didn't want to stop on that hill. So, sorry, coffee. Yep, so Littleton, we're climbing up the side of the hill, which actually goes over to Sumner. I don't know if you can quite see, but there's our Littleton port. So containers, obviously some sort of cargo on that cargo ship. Could be grain, could be, well, could be anything. But anyway, let's concentrate on the road. It's been a long time since I've been up here. What's this guy down in front of us doing? To be fair, I don't actually know what the speed limit is up here. Oh, well, here we go, 60. This guy in front of us is doing 40. See what he's doing. So not exactly flooring it, but hey, I'm doing 50, so there's a nice little lookout up here. We may stop. Just depends on who's up here. Stop for a look, and see if we can get some footage. Otherwise, we might continue riding. We'll see what happens. This guy's going relatively slow. Honda, looked like a 300. Could be wrong. It's sometimes hard to judge a bike just by the front of it. Really like to pass this guy, but obviously double yellows I can't. And given the fact he's riding in the middle of the lane, I am not going to blow past him. It's not exactly a great idea to do, so we'll just toot along behind him. Well, it looks good. Be a great day for a swim. Don't know the angle you can see, but obviously that's the entrance to Littleton port, and those mountains. Keep going around all those bays, you'd end up in Akaraa. And if anyone actually knew the Christchurch earthquake, this road got damaged in the Christchurch earthquake. That's why I said I haven't been up here for a long time. There was a shitload of rocks and damage to this road. So this road was shut for a long time. Obviously, as you can tell, there's quite new steel on this road, because they had to do a lot of clearing on this road. Oh, it's like this. And yeah, looks like we can pull in here. I'll pull in for a vape. So yeah, this road was severely damaged during the Christchurch earthquakes. Some of you may remember. This is quite a popular road for obviously cycling and any means. So let me just roll my bike back. So we'll leave it in first gear, so we're on a hill. And yeah. Turn the bike off for a bit. And again, running the tether. Right, we'll turn this video off for a bit maybe. Maybe I should take my key. Pretty trusting here in Christchurch, but I'll leave my phone there for now. So this is the entrance to Littleton Port. And the lovely water. Pretty clear in certain places, but yeah. We might turn off the video, have a little break, and we'll continue shortly. Alright guys, good luck, and we'll see you next one. Have a good one.